Hi, everybody. My name's Jason.
I'm Caden. I'm Jaden.
And we are the Yahuwah and the Torah channel. And we thank you guys very, 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 very much for hanging out with us. It is a day of the sun. It is a first day on the Gregorian calendar for whenever you guys are catching up with us. Hopefully you guys are not going into a temple that is made by hands of man, that is not ordained on the wrong day, that our Creator has said that he doesn't want us to worship. And he didn't say he doesn't want us to worship, but the day that we are designated to worship is the seventh day, which was yesterday. And so if we want to do what our Creator wants us to do, that would be us obeying his laws, statutes, and commandments for all times, for all generations, for all peoples, for all families. It's just what we are supposed to be doing. So, gentlemen, how you guys?
Good.
It's been a long time since we've had one of these segments, right? It's like literally 5 days, 6, 7 days ago. I mean, it was last week at this exact same time. Okay, guys, this is Yah Scriptures right here. There is some crazy crisis in the Red Sea and some weird thing with the Panama Canal. So we're out another 30 days on this. But the good news is we got 18 of these scriptures in that are coming in very, very, very soon. They're expediting these ones and they're shipping them on their dime. And so we have 4 or 5 prisoners that we are taking right off the top, and then we are going to be popping in all of you guys little bits at a time till we have these. The big order of 2,000 plus should be here sometime in July, I believe now. But we are going to get a couple of these out, and thank you guys very, very much for waiting. It has been one of these things that once we finally get them in our hands, it will be amazing, because there is there's literally a famine for this scriptures right now, that people really, really want this. And so we have a lot of orders when these things hit in, and so we will be fulfilling these very quickly as we possibly can. You would probably, though, if you do want a copy of these, you would probably want to get your name in and get in the list, because I do believe these are going to go very fast once they are in. So these are becoming very popular very quickly, and they are 3,153 pages with all of scriptures and all of the Apocrypha. Okay, gents, we are in to the times of Yisrael. For anybody that has not hung out with us for the rest of these are the kings, and this is the kind of lineage of Israel during the times of the kings. And so we are all through these kings right here. We have made it through Achab. He is dead. Jezebel, she's dead, right? Didn't she?
I don't think she's dead yet.
She's not dead yet? Okay. And so what we have is something like this. So, gentlemen, can you guys give me a quick lowdown of anything to where we are today? Jade?
So the people of Israel, they all sinned. All the kings went astray. They are the times where every single king has sinned. It's rare that anyone ever follows Yahuwah or removed any idols. They've all done idol worshiping. We ended up with Achab, who was one of the most wicked of all the kings, and his wife Jezebel. They did really evil things. They ended up killing people and sending them away to judge before the judges, and Jezebel told them the false accusations, and they got people killed righteous people killed for nothing. And so they keep dying off, and then another one rises up, and the people of Israel, they just keep getting basically punished for their evil kings and the ways they have gone.
Mm-hmm. And so we had some prophets in here. We just had one of our prophets, he gone. What happened to him? Where's he at?
That was Eliyahu. He was one of the more holier prophets, because he ended up not dying but flying away on a fiery chariot. So Yah must have found a lot of favor in him for that.
Yeah, there's only a couple people that we know that have been taken like that. Who do we know of that have been taken? Enoch.
Ham.
Who?
Eliyahu.
Oh, yeah.
And
I said Ham. I'm like, who? I don't think Ham made it. I don't think Ham made it out of this one.
That's it. And like Yahushua, leaving once.
Yeah, Yahushua left. He went up. Yeah, I don't remember anymore. Okay, so here we are, guys, into the third chapter of 2 Kings. Anyone else have anything before we begin on this?
No.
Okay, and Yahoram, son of Achab, began to reign over Israel at Shomron in the 18th year of Jehoshaphat, sovereign of Yehuda, and reigned 12 years. And he did evil in the eyes of Yahuwah, but not like his father and mother, for he removed the statue of Baal, which his father had made. But he clung to the sins of Jeroboam, son of Negbet, who had made Yisrael sin. He did not turn away from them. And Maisha, sovereign of Moab, was a sheep breeder, and he paid the sovereign of Yisrael 100,000 lambs and the wool of 100,000 rams. Maisha was rich. If you were able to pay some fella 1,000 lambs and then the wool of 100,000 lambs. That's a lot of lambs. That is a lot of stuff. Okay, so let's talk about Mesha. And it came to be when Achab died that the sovereign of Moab revolted against the sovereign of Yisrael. And sovereign Yeroram went out of Shomron at that time and mustered all Yisrael. And he went and sent to Jehoshaphat, sovereign of Yehudah, saying, the sovereign of Moab has revolted against me. Do you go up with me to fight against Moab? And he said, I go up with you. I am as you are, my people as your people, my horses as your horses. And he said, which way do we go up? And he said, by the way of the wilderness of Edom. And the sovereign of Yisrael went, and the sovereign of Yehudah, and the sovereign of Edom, and went around a journey of 7 days. And there was no water for the army, nor for the cattle that followed them. And the sovereign of Yisrael said, what, has Yahuwah called these 3 sovereigns to give them into the hand of Moab? And Jehoshaphat said, is there no Nabai of Yahuwah here? Then let us inquire of Yahuwah through him. One of the servants of the sovereign of Yisrael then answered and said, Elisha, son of Shaphat, is here, who poured water out of the hands of Eliyahu. And Jehoshaphat said, the word of Yahuwah is with him. And the sovereign of Yisrael and Jehoshaphat and the sovereign of Edom went down to him. And Elisha said to the sovereign of Yisrael, what have I to do with you? Go to the prophets of your father and the prophets of your mother. And the sovereign of Israel said to him, no, for Yahuwah has called these 3 sovereigns to give them into the hand of Moab. And Elisha said, as Yahuwah of hosts lives, before whom I stand, if it were not that I regard the presence of Jehoshaphat, sovereign of Yehudah, I would not look at you nor see you. And now bring me a harpist. And it came to be when the harpist played that the hand of Yahuwah came upon him. And he said, thus said Yahuwah, make this wadi ditches. For thus, is you guys say dishes? 2 dishes? So make this wadi ditches. Ditches. Yeah. That's odd. For thus said Yahuwah, you are not going to see wind nor rain, yet that wadi is to be filled with water, so that you, your cattle, and the beasts shall drink. And this shall be but a light matter in the eyes of Yahuwah, and he shall give Moab into your hand. And you shall smite every walled city and every choice city, and shall cut down every good tree, and stop up every fountain of water, and ruin every good place of land with stones. Okay, what is this? What is he saying with this? Like, cut down every good tree, stop up a fountain of water.
Basically desolate the land.
Desolate the land, yeah. Make it uninhabitable. You have no trees, you have no water. It's a mess of a place. 20. And it came to be in the morning, when the grain offering was offered, that see, water came by the way of Edom, and the land was filled with water. And when all Moab heard that the sovereigns had come to fight against them, all who were able to bear arms and older were gathered, and they stood at the border. And they rose up early in the morning, and the sun was shining on the water, and the Moabites saw the water on the other side as red as blood. And they said, this is blood. The sovereigns have indeed struck swords and killed one another, and have killed one another. And now Moab, to the spoil. And they came to the camp of Yisrael, and Yisrael rose up and smote the Moabites, so that they fled before them. And they entered their land and smote the Moabites. And they broke down the cities, and each man threw a stone on every good piece of land and filled it. And they stopped up all the fountains of water and cut down all the good trees, until the stones of Kerethseth were left. And the slingers went around and smote it. And when the sovereign of Moab saw that the battle was too strong for him, he took with him 700 men who drew swords to break through to the sovereign of Edom, but they could not. Then took his eldest son, who would have reigned in his place, and offered him as a burnt offering upon the wall. And there was a great wrath against Yisrael, and they left him and returned to the land.
That's one way to go at.
Yeah. So, what do you guys make of this? Why did this guy took his eldest son?
Probably to sacrifice. Right, he try to sacrifice to whatever his god was to show that he would do anything to win this war. Yeah,
there's some wild stuff, and this happens again. Did we read about this, or is this something I've read about in the future? And a different thing where they I think I just read that in the book of Josephus. There was another incident where I think it was in the days of Maccabees when they were one of the Maccabees was attacking, and they got the mother of one of the Maccabees, and they had her up on the wall, and they told all the soldiers, they're like, we're gonna cut her into pieces right before your eyes unless you stop sieging this. So the mother screamed out, she's like, take them, kids, take them all. And so they got a lot of strength, but then they saw her scream to death to the point where it freaked them all out, and they left. And so they basically couldn't handle the torture of the mother getting hacked to pieces, tortured on top of the wall, and so they quit. They broke heart. So I don't think I've heard that before, but I did read that in Josephus. Josephus is an absolutely huge book. Okay, so anyway, there you go for that. Anyone have anything at all to finish this up with?
I don't think so. I mean, it just shows who, when you go to war, it shows whose side you should be on, because your God isn't going to accept offerings of your child.
Hey, aren't you glad that I haven't offered you guys some sort of sacrifice or something?
A little bit.
Hey, I get some better parenting than just that guy, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, guys. Well, have a good day. Much love to everyone. We're out.
All right, shalom.